How about 3 tips to become an even more effective leader? Now, this is relevant whether you're leading a family, whether you're leading children, whether you're leading friends who seek out your help, whether you have colleagues or maybe team members or customers who are looking to you for guidance, for leadership, then this is a really important video for you. So hello and welcome. My name is Katrin from bloomwithkatrin.com. I'm coming live to you from the beautiful Bavarian forest over here in Germany, and I hope you're not shy. So when you're watching me live or later on the replay at any point in time, please drop down below you're here and where you're tuning in from, so I can circle back around and say hi to you. I'm looking forward to that because I'm going live for you, because I want to help you take your business to the online space so it's going to be sustainably successful. You're not going to annoy anybody. You're not sending out copy-paste messages any longer, but actually learning to attract your perfect prospects, the people who are looking for you and what it is that you specifically and uniquely have to offer, right? And to enjoy this process. So it's going to be a soulful success that you're creating for yourself, instead of feeling you need to kind of like sell your soul to make money, which isn't true, right? So let's dive on in. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a funny story, because a few years ago, it's actually quite a number of years ago already, my partner and I were newly, freshly in love. And so I made him go to a dance class with me. Let me know whether you can relate. And this is valid and very, very important when it comes to leadership, because I learned a very, very important lesson in that dance class. So as you may be aware, I'm a body and dance therapist, but my dance career started out in that dance class, right? So my partner was having a really, really difficult time leading me. I was the one leading him, right? I kind of like knew the steps better. And so I was the one leading him more than he was leading me. And the teacher noticed that, right? He was a very, a gentleman, but somebody who thought that absolutely no, men need to lead women, especially when it comes to dancing. So he came over and told my partner, well, you just got to take charge of her, right? You just got to grab her and you direct her and it's all going to go smoothly. And then my partner tried doing that and it was disaster. We would step on each other's toes and it really didn't feel very good for neither of us. And then the teacher came along and said, you know what, lady, I'm going to teach you that you need to be led. And so he tried to do the same thing and it did not work at all. I actually stopped the dance class and I thought, you know what, I'm just not cut out for dancing, which is presumably why I found my way into body and dance therapy at the end of the day. But funny story, and let me know whether you can relate to this one, because I hope I'm not the only one who's difficult to lead when it comes to dancing. But here's the thing. When we are trying to be that dance class teacher, right, and tell people what to do all the time and be very, like in a way pushy, right? That's not very effective leadership. Would you agree? Because I stopped my dancing career because of that. I don't know whether it would have gotten me far anyway, but I enjoyed it, right? But that might actually be something that we might be doing in our own leadership when it comes to helping our team. So let's not make the same mistakes. Let's not do the same things with the kids as well, right? But let's really discover a different kind of leadership today with me here, okay? So let's dive on in. I've got 3 tips for you. And maybe you don't even consider yourself a leader, right? A leader, that's somebody who makes, I don't know, 6, 7 figures, got a huge team. That's somehow when you develop into leadership. And that, my friend, is very far from the truth, at least from the way that I see it. Because really, there is one person you're already leading your entire life, and that's yourself. And you want to become very effective when it comes to that, which is why I do my mindset training once a week here on my page, Bloom with Katrin. And if you don't want to miss any of that, please just click on this video and turn on live notifications and maybe even follow the page so you don't miss out on any of my free training episodes here. Because mindset is really huge. because I can teach you all the skills, to build online. But as long as you don't consider yourself a leader, as long as you, don't have the right kind of mindset, you're going to self-sabotage your success. Let me know whether you can relate to that one. So, okay, you are a leader in your networking career as soon as you sign up your first customer, and latest when you sign up your first team member. Okay, so there's always one person you're leading already, and that's yourself. If you've got kids, you're leading them as well, of course. So 3 tips to make that more effective and more enjoyable as well. Okay, so tip number 1 is do not get defensive. And this might be difficult if that's your default reaction when somebody brings you sort of a negative feedback, or gives you what's that called in English? Constructive criticism. I think that's the term, right? So let's stop the blaming game, because here's what happens, right? Maybe you got a negative feedback, like I got quite negative feedback from that teacher in my dance class. Would you agree? That was really negative feedback. You're hard or impossible to lead. Awesome. Thank you for telling me that. Maybe your kids give you negative feedback. Maybe team members give you negative feedback. Okay. And very often, and I know this has happened to me, and it might still be happening now without me actually realizing it. So I want to pinpoint this for myself as much as for you to actually become aware of this. How do you react to negative feedback brought to you by doesn't matter who? Okay. Do you go, I know, but, and then comes a very valid reason for not doing what it is that they would have wanted you to do, for example? Or do you go ahead and say, or find yourself saying, yeah, but I was so busy, or any valid excuse, because at the end of the day, it is an excuse, isn't it? So what I would recommend us all to do, okay, and I'm talking as much to myself as to you again, okay, let's take a deep breath when that comes, when you hear that kind of negative criticism and you can feel the excuse wallowing up inside of you. Take a deep breath and maybe even a step back, okay, and say, I know, and not but. Stop the but in the sentence, okay? Don't go to the excuse. Don't go to the valid reason. Don't go get defensive. But really stop at the yes, take a deep breath, stop at yes, I know, or thanks for letting me know, thanks for bringing this to my attention, because we do have blind spots, right? Things that we're not aware of. Maybe there is a lack, there's a missing link in our team system, right? And that's very important to become aware of that so we can close the gap. So it's a good thing people let us know that there's something that they're struggling with or that they need differently from us. Would you agree? So stop it. Yes, I know. Don't go to the but. Leave the but out. Okay? And think, can I work with this? Is this valid, what they're bringing to my attention? And sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you can't work with it. Sometimes it's downright negative, right? I've experienced that. Let me know whether you can relate as well. So in that case, smile and give them a thank you for their feedback anyhow, because they've taken the time. Never ever take these things personal, because especially when the criticism is brought to your attention in a way that's not very positive, it's usually very much more a reflection on where they are at in their journey, what's not working for them, and how they're feeling about it, than about you and your leadership. Does that make sense? Let me know. Okay, so very rarely feedback is actually given to hurt you, but to actually try to help you. So let's thank people for that. At least that's what we can do. And the culture in our team is going to be very different. And that actually leads me into step number 2, which is creating a culture of mistake. That's not, oh, no, that wasn't me, right? So here's the thing, and it's actually about taking responsibility. I'm raising a son. As you might be aware, if you've been following me for any length of time, you might have seen him already. He's 12 years now, and he's starting to try to hide mistakes from me, right? So he knows he's done something wrong, and he's trying to hide it from me. So I'll go like, did you do, I don't know, your exercise for maths, for example? And he go, yeah, I did. And then when I, like to see it, he goes, actually, I didn't do it. Right? So then he starts playing the blaming game. Why? giving me excuses why he couldn't do it at the end of the day. And here's what we're working on, that, it's no big deal to have made a mistake or to have not done your homework or whatever it might be, but it happens to all of us. We all make mistakes. I forget things as well, right? And I'm sure you do too. So, but I'm working on him admitting his mistakes to me, admitting his shortcomings to me, because I keep on telling him, Mama knows anyhow, right? So you might as well admit to the thing, and then we can work with it. So here's something important to remember. Again, talking to myself, because I can get a bit grumpy at him when he does that with me. Mistakes are never intentional. People don't wake up in the morning, think about how they can, like wreak havoc on our days. They don't. They just make a mistake, presumably out of a lack of knowledge, because there's a missing link for them, right? So I found that people appreciate and actually even admire that when you can actually own up to a mistake. When you've made a mistake, when you've done something wrong, when you've forgotten something that you wanted to do, go ahead and take responsibility for that. Try it. Try it with the simple things with your children, and try it with the big things on your team as well. And it can make a world of a difference, because here's the thing with the world, it keeps on turning, even if we do make a mistake at the end of the day, right? Which is good, thankfully. Own up to your mistake. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. Let me, make it right as much as I possibly can. Like, let me correct my mistake. We are human. The world keeps on turning, and us as leaders, owning up to our mistakes and saying, hey, there's something I did wrong here, pardon me, actually creates a culture of where it's okay, of where it's allowed to make a mistake. Okay. And I think that's a very good culture to live in and to work with other people. I hope you can agree. Let me know. And here's step number 3. Let's never delay changing. Okay. So whenever you find yourself as in your leadership role, going, how do I do a live video? How do I find 5 people to talk to tomorrow? How do I do this, that, or the other thing? Let's shift that, because what we're doing there actually is presumably overthinking the process, getting lost in the how and not doing the what, which is really important. So let's shift from how do I do this or that particular thing and go to why don't I do this right now? Okay, because really what we're doing there, sitting there overthinking, is we're delaying our change and our progress. So rather than going, how do I go live? How do I hit the button? How do I find something to talk about? Go ahead and ask yourself, why don't I do this right now? Why don't I just hit that button right now? And if you really do need help with that, drop me a live video down below, because I've created a playlist for you of, I think it's 11 videos, that will help you with going live, okay, and give you structure and what to talk about and how to brand yourself in your live videos as well, and all the tech stuff as well. So might be helpful. Let me know if that's something you'd like to take a look at. So go from how do I do this or that to why don't I do it right now? And if you really don't know how to do it right now, figure out how you might learn it. Increase your skill sets, even as a leader. Be the person who keeps on learning, who keeps evolving. That is, I think, the best motivation for your team, the best way to lead your team, lead your family, lead your kids, lead whomever is in your life who looks up to you for leadership or looks towards you for leadership, to actually be the example. Because here's the thing, our words are only going to take other people so far, but it's really our actions that matter and that they'll remember. Okay? So what we do and do not do is going to duplicate on our team, is going to duplicate as well in our family. Okay, so let's become very aware of this, that it's actually in our own hands to grow into a leadership that we can enjoy, where we can be leaders who lead with dignity and with heart and compassion. I think that's very important. So thanks so much for watching. Drop me down below if there is one thing that you've been delaying for a certain period of time, and that you're now, I'm going to start, how do I do it, to why don't I do it just right now? I hope you're going to do it right now. Drop down below what it is and what your experiences are doing them right now. Thanks again for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Tuesday. Until then, be happy, healthy, and blessed, and never give up. Always delay quitting to tomorrow. Take care. All the best from Katrin. Bye.